Good evening and welcome to Channel 8 Sports and East Brunswick High School Soccer. Tonight it's girls soccer, the Bears taking on Bridgewater East. Hi, I'm John Meggiolaro, being joined by Jim Allinder for tonight's contest. And Jimmy, we're about ready to get underway.
Yep, we're not wasting any time here. East Brunswick, these are two familiar teams that have played each other every year. East Brunswick has always been on top. And that's Bridgewater, as you see, and it looks like they're wearing flags tonight, actually. But East Brunswick, its old self, they are the quality team in the Greater Middlesex Conference in Middlesex County. They opened up the season with a 3-2 loss, I believe, to Westfield. 2-1.
2-1 to Westfield, yeah.
Right, which is not unusual because we all know about those two teams, and unless the sky falls, I would expect East Brunswick.
And here we go right away. This is Teresa Rossi. She's knocked off the ball, still with it, however.
We're going to try to talk in between the action here because East Brunswick should have the definite advantage tonight, as you're going to see. They're just going to explode.
Shot, goal! And it didn't take long.
Let's see who that was.
Number 55 for the Lady Bears, and that's Lisa Raby.
Lisa Raby, leading scorer coming into this game for the Bears by a long shot. She had 5 goals and 9 assists for 14 points, so that's her 6th goal. And the Bears did not waste any time, John. Not a minute gone by here. And coach for Bridgewater East, Bob Morris, he's in his 7th season, said that he had no illusions about his team's ability to win this game tonight. What he does want to do is be able to come out of the game holding their heads high.
Right.
And they're going to have to go a ways just to do that because East Brunswick is just so dominant. Scoring is well distributed this year. Some familiar names. A couple of names that are not going to play tonight. Amy Meckelberg, who has 4 goals and 4 assists, is injured, and she will not be available tonight, from my understanding. As will Tina Karzima. She's also injured. And Debbie DiNicola and Erica Schultz are 2 forwards that will not be available.
East Brunswick comes in with a 7-1 record, ranked 4th in the state. And really, Jim, we saw this team early last year and some young players, and we said, wow, wait till 1990 after a fantastic year last year in which they went undefeated. They're right back where they belong.
Exactly. They're here. Talking to Lou Cosa, the coach for the Lady Bears. He says things are up to snuff right now. The first game notwithstanding, that the team is really cruising along now. I asked Lou, I said, is there a danger of this team now just playing out the slate, waiting for the other opportunity to go after Westfield in the state finals? I know we're taking this sort of for granted, but the fact remains, and you're going to see this on the field right here.
Here comes Rossi, Jim. Crosses.
Beautiful.
And another goal.
Beautiful shot.
Grace cross, and that's...
I think that's Rabi again.
No, number 66 this time, and that is Tammy Levine.
Okay.
And this may be all over. 17:47 on the clock here.
You're right. Tammy Levine, who also has been involved in the scoring. She has 3 goals and 3 assists. That's her 4th goal now. And 17:47, bang, bang.
And it's 2-0 East Brunswick.
And you had the question the other night as to whether or not there is a, what do we call, what kind of rule is it?
Slaughter rule, I use the term.
Yeah. We may have that answer tonight.
East Brunswick in the white. We mentioned that Bridgewater East is in the very patriotic red, white, and blue. If nothing else, they win something for best uniform.
Right. They're called, I hate to say it, the Minutemen. That's their nicknames. Look at this. Here's a break.
Here we go again.
That could be a break right there.
Rossi puts it out front.
Great punch. Look at the speed.
Shot. Oh, and that just went over the goal. That was number 58, Karen Bishop.
Just a little high on it, or that was going to be another goal. That would have been the 3rd goal. We're averaging almost a goal a minute in this game.
And we would have closed down for the night after that.
Oh, you're going to see constant pressure tonight. And I'll tell you what, the danger of this game, John, is that East Brunswick's replacements are equally as effective.
Yes.
And we could have ourselves quite a rout. So we'll have to watch this closely.
Well, we talked a little bit about last night, and that is Lou Cosa, his willingness to play young people and play them in big games right up front.
Young. They are young, too. There's a lot of sophomores. Rabi and Bishop, two of those. Karam just missed a goal, but and then, of course, the seniors, Teresa Rossi and Tammy Levine. Should call out some of these other names. I hope we have the opportunity before they exit the game.
Yeah, well, I think we'll see everyone tonight. That's Sue Kerwin in goal for the Lady Bears. And that may be one of the few times she'll touch the ball. 2-0 is the score. We're right in the first period, and within the first 2 minutes, East Brunswick cashed in. East Brunswick in the white, as we mentioned, playing at J. Doyle Field on the football field. And
great transition.
Rossi sends it down.
Great transition there. That was quite a foot.
And Jim, we're really going to see some excellent positioning and strategy. East Brunswick works hard on it. There's a purpose for every kick.
That can be attributed to Costa's coaching.
Throw in for Bridgewater East.
There's a little bit of a chance here.
Good defense.
I think the last couple minutes here, Bridgewater has seemed to steady itself. I think they were a little shocked for the first couple of minutes. And have a little bit of an offensive thrust.
Bears will put it in play.
Bridgewater East, a member of the newly formed Skyline Conference, formerly used to be the Delaware River Conference and the old Mid-State Conference,
right,
of which a number of members are part of the GMC. East Brunswick, of course, in the red division, the big school division of the Greater Middlesex Conference. And ever since that conference has been formed in 1984, East Brunswick has never finished lower than first. As a matter of fact, they have not lost a game
in the
Middlesex competition since what, 78 maybe? That's pure. That is pure dominance there.
Yeah,
there's no other way to describe it.
No.
There's East Brunswick and then there's the rest.
Yeah, right. The rest of the league. You know, Jim, as we look at Bridgewater East, here's a school that, much like Madison Central and Cedar Ridge, is split in town. That is, there's the East and West high schools.
Well, that won't be for long, though,
No,
because the two schools are merging next year. And that, again, is one of the reasons that Morris attributed to what he considers to be a little bit of a downslide in his program. There's a merger. There's not the same types of numbers. And as a result, the program hasn't been able to be on an even keel. I hope I'm not saying too much something bad about Somerset County soccer, but we may be looking at one of the best teams in Somerset County here. So there obviously is a disparity in the quality.
And you can see the difference on the field, particularly at this point. East Brunswick very much aware of their presence and that of fellow teammates. Bridgewater East just trying to kick the ball somewhere toward East Brunswick's goal.
The thing I notice most is the Lady Bears' ability to anticipate, throw ahead, and then allowing their team speed to work for them.
Yes. Well, we saw that speed last night with the boys soccer program, and tonight we see it again with the girls. And there's no substitute for speed.
That's the East Brunswick's ball.
And they'll move quickly. They set up and go.
There you go. Watch the center here. Let's see.
Cross is there.
Great cross.
Shot.
Just a great
goal.
Cross. Wow, let's get that number. She saved that ball from going around the end line and punched it right in the middle. Beautiful pass.
The goal was Erica Schultz, number 56.
And we didn't expect to see her.
I'm sorry. The goal was by Lisa Rabi.
Okay, Rabi, her second for the night.
At 11:58.
And I want to pick up who that was that made that assist, because it was really her that caused that goal to be scored, and I believe
it was Teresa.
It was Teresa Karzima. Yes.
Karzima.
Yep. Great play by her.
Well, I'm already out of paper trying to keep this score. It's 3-0, and we're still in the first period. And there's not much to say. You just need to watch.
So that's Rabi's 7th goal on the season. And she's well on her way to the county leadership in goals scored at total points.
Well, she'll be looking at a hat trick the next time she puts her foot on the ball.
Of course, Amy Meckelberg was one of the major scorers for the Lady Bears last year, but she's injured right now. And, as you can see, there's no fall off in the quality.
No, East Brunswick does not lose anything by going to the bench. Here we go again.
Watch this attack on the wings. And something I noticed was good sense on the part of the Lady Bears. They were starting to creep up a little too quickly, and Tammy Levine stopped herself.
Bridgewater East really not able to mount any sort of offense, and in fact really can't keep up with East Brunswick in terms of speed.
I think we get a throw in here. Okay, I thought it might have been a corner.
Costa's starting to get some of.
Look at this shot. Great.
Here we go.
And it's onside too. Nice save.
Good play by Bridgewater East.
But it may only be temporary. Look at
There
this.
we go.
Let's watch
Rabi again, shot. She's got the hat trick.
Good Lord.
All in the first period.
All in the first 10 minutes.
That goal comes at 10-12.
And I think Costa better call off the Wolves here. Substitutes coming in right now. As a matter of fact, 5 of them. Entire front line for the East Brunswick will be exiting the game. And Teresa Rossi will go out. John, I think 63. Colleen Swick, we didn't even get to mention her. Also, Karzima sits down. Lisa Rabi just scored that 3rd goal. Tammy Levine. If you want to pick up some new numbers, it's going to be that way.
Dana Pepe's in number 53, and we'll try to call out as many of the players as we can. People at home, if nothing else, should be happy we don't air commercials. Because we would have had 7 of them already.
That's right. Not only that, but they would have missed 4 goals. Oh, gosh.
And you certainly have to feel for Bridgewater East. Those young ladies are out there playing their hardest. And
they don't know what hit them, quite frankly.
No. 4-0, 9:25 left here in the first period.
This
and
is a
there's
buzz.
no hope.
Yeah.
At least that we can see it at the moment.
All right, so Lisa scores her 8th goal of the season.
She's probably
not of the game, folks.
She's probably showering at this point. Katie Smith is in goal for Bridgewater East, and the young lady really hasn't had much support back there.
Bless her heart.
I'll tell you, anyone arriving late to this game may miss the whole game if they get here by the end of the first period. Could be all over.
East Brunswick crowd is like deathly quiet, and really, what is there more to say than just all they have to do is watch the game? They really can't cheer.
And we have a timeout.
Substitution here.
Yeah, and one of East Brunswick players fixing her equipment.
Lee Rotella came in for. Well, they have names on the back of their jerseys, too. Almost.
back to Sue Kerwin. Just be sure that Sue's awake back there.
How about that boot?
Jim, a big game coming up for the Lady Bears in about a week or so, and that's against Franklin High School of Tennessee.
Okay. That game's going to be played on what day? Saturday?
Friday night.
A Friday night?
And we'll have it here on Channel 8. That should be interesting. Some of the background might be interesting as well.
Well, Franklin from Tennessee, considered one of the top teams in the country. And knowing Lou Cosa, he went out and found the best and invited them up here. And the Tennessee team is going to be on a tour of New Jersey, I believe, also playing Westfield the following afternoon. And that'll be interesting to watch. See a confrontation among two quality programs. I asked Lou, I said, well, what do you know about this team? He says, nothing. I don't know anything. So the question remains, is the quality of competition in Tennessee the same as in New Jersey? And that can't be answered until they're on the field. That's an offside.
Offsides. Teresa Rossi cheating just a bit, and she was called.
Yeah, leaning a little bit.
She was leaning. We have 6:20 left here in the first period, and the Bears are on top 4-0. Yes, you're hearing me correctly, 4-0. And I think we've gone through all our material.
Bang.
You know, Jim, amazing, no matter who it is off the bench or a starter, but they all play the same way.
Oh, yeah.
Kerwin, another good foot. And East Brunswick just sets it up. Out to the wing. Rossi giving chase.
Fine pass there.
Yep.
Almost.
Good defense by Bridgewater East. Offsides. And that was Colleen Swick, I believe, number 63 they called. A little over anxious, and why not? I'm sorry, that was Terry Slater, number 51, who was offsides.
Fed right to the goaltender.
Right back to Sue Kerwin.
And Sue obviously has a foot. And she almost notches that past midfield. Great boot.
Maybe Marcus Borden should be watching. Ooh.
And that, she tripped over her own self.
Yeah, right over her own foot. And Brunswick back on the move.
And Rossi. It's Marin Levine, I believe. John. Substitutions. And the cheerleaders called into duty tonight. Probably could enjoy the night off.
Well, they better crank it up here because it's not going to be too much to cheer about on the field other than East Brunswick scoring, it seems like, every few minutes. Well, things have settled down somewhat, although when you look at a 4-0 score in the first period. But from Bridgewater East's perspective, certainly they're trying to shore themselves up. It's a matter of pride now.
Oh, yeah.
We're inside 3 minutes here in the first period.
Comes a substitution for the Lady Bears. It's Nicole Levine.
Number 71. And Teresa Rossi will take a break. And we should mention Lucas's assistant is Brian Merrigan. And we don't mention Brian's name very much. And
winter track coach.
yeah. But an important part of that brain trust, if you will, of the Lady Bears.
Got a chance here. Nice feed to the wing, just a little wide. And let's see what happens here. Give it to, give it to Bridge.
Yep. Miscommunication.
Right. And I've been watching number 65, and I quite honestly don't know how to pronounce. Or is that Carla Schwartz?
Carla Schwartz.
Okay. And number 67, another defender. I'm not sure on that one either.
Slukix? Zukic.
We're going to get a correct
Maybe
pronunciation. Apologize on that one.
Zukic. Zukis? I believe that's what it is.
Yes. Here come the Lady Bears again on the attack, John. Let's see. Probably off East Brunswick. Let's see who they give it to.
It'll go over to Bridgewater East.
Nope, they give it to East Brunswick, interestingly. No, it's sorry.
Bridgewater.
Okay. And the outside is open here. Slater's in the middle. There's
knocked away. Is it a corner?
Not quite. Should be an East Brunswick throw-in.
Dana Pepe trying to feed it into the center. And she'll bullet it in.
Slater was pushed off there.
There's Pepe. Shot. Didn't get enough on it. 15 seconds remaining here in the first period.
East Brunswick is very quick back on defense. And I'll tell you what, their objective now is not only to win big, but to not to be scored on.
And that'll do it. And so at the end of one, it's East Brunswick 4, Bridgewater East nothing. And that was the Lisa Raby show in that first period. Lisa scoring 3 goals. Tammy Levine picking up the other.
More like a ping pong match. Really, the action was fast and furious there in the first couple of minutes, John. 2 goals in 1 minute. And, wow, they did a heck of a job. And it just shows the strength of the East Brunswick girls program. They really are without peer in this part of the state. And John, you see the camera peering down on the East Brunswick team. Lucosa wearing the light iridescent hat, so nobody will miss him.
Yeah, so he won't be noticed.
But he's, we know him. He's a very likable coach, very low-keyed, yet very strong with his ability, and he asserts himself when he needs to.
There's no doubt about what Luke Cosa has brought to this girls program, and it's been the right amount of coaching, the right amount of fathering, if you will, discipline.
Yeah, that's it.
And you can see him. He's 4-0 ahead, and yet he's talking to him like he's down by 4.
And what he can only be saying at this point is, let's not allow a letdown. Let's get the same sort of commitment that we did, because the girls would naturally just fall off in their commitment.
Well, there's certain things I'm sure he wants to improve upon. As we mentioned before, they play a tough schedule, and as like any champion, people come in to gun you down. And it'll be a feather in someone's cap if ever in the GMC conference they were to beat East Brunswick.
Well, I thought that Madison Central might be one of the teams, because the Lady Spartans have an up-and-coming program. They're coached by, Frank Marchese, and it's quite a commitment on his part to bring that program They came to East Brunswick, and I believe they were defeated 4-1. But certainly it wasn't a blowout. Another fine program is in North Brunswick.
Well, we're about ready to start this second period. And if you're the coach of Bridgewater East, Jim, what do you say?
Let's try to keep the score down if we can. Let's put a gate up by on our goal.
All right, action starts once again. East Brunswick moving right to left on your screen now.
That game with Franklin is going to be October 13th.
They moved it back to the 12th.
Okay.
Originally was the 13th. It's
Which
moved
would
to
be
a Friday night.
Friday night, I'm
Right.
sorry, yes.
Offsides against the Bears. Jim, as you look down the schedule, I see Cherry Hill East is on.
There's a number of teams. Bayonne on October 9th, which will be 1 week from tonight, I believe. Along with the Franklin game. Cherry Hill East, as you mentioned, on October 20th. That's an away match. The Bayonne game will be a home game here, and that'll be an evening contest. So that game will be under the lights. And they will finish out the season on October 22nd, as regular season, and then we'll get into the GMC tournament and finally the NJSA tournament. And some of the starters are back in the game now, probably briefly. I see Rabi there.
And in all fairness to Bridgewater East, they do seem to have settled down a bit, but here we go.
Boy, they're quick. East Brunswick is just lightning quick. You know, I marvel. Lisa Rabi, she's just a sophomore, and she already shows superb ability, you know, to read where the ball's going, anticipate, and I dread what it's going to be like when she's a senior.
Well, we kind of touched on it a little bit last night. I mean,
great move by Rossi.
Rossi's got it. She's got someone
one
on the wing. Wasn't able to keep control of it enough to make the pass, but and a whistle.
Well, Robbie was caught offside, and the defender, the stopper back, moved up just enough before the pass. Teresa would have done well to dump it off before that happened, but let's see this one. Here we go.
That's Rabi with the shot and the goal. That's number 4, and we may be looking at a single game record here.
We'll have to find out what it is. Boy, she didn't waste any time. Took that pass, one bounce, and boom, foot right into the net.
17:09 of the period.
Mind you, she has 5 goals on the season in 8 games, so she is almost about ready to double her output on the season.
She's got 4 of the 5 goals for the Bears.
There's so much time left, too.
I know.
That's what's really... And I know what's going through Cosa's mind. He's debating whether or not to take her out. But well, I'm going to find out by halftime what the school record is for single games in it. It has to be a lot because East Brunswick has had a lot of games where there have been multiple numbers of goals scored, certainly in double figures. So I would not be all shocked if it's like 7, 8 goals.
Well, there's not much more we can say other than it's 5-0. We're in the second period, 16:25 remaining. And really, Bridgewater East is only an obstacle on the field.
I remember 2 years ago when they young lady by the name of Carrie Webster, I believe. Made it a really interesting game. I think it was a 1-0 final.
Sue Kerwin again showing her kicking abilities from the goal.
Here they come.
Rossi crosses it.
And let's see, goaltender gets there.
Nice stop by Scott. Smith rather, Katie Smith. She's going to be dreaming about shots on goal tonight.
And quite honestly, there's not one goal she had even a remote chance of stopping. Punched through by Rossi. Now watch how East Brunswick lines up here.
Back to a corner. Oh, let's say throw in.
That ball still up.
Shot off the top, and that'll be out of bounds.
No, watch this.
That's Ravi.
Yeah, she's going to save it, too.
Nice cross. Good defensive play by one of the Minute ladies.
That's how we're going to have to say it.
And Smith, first easy chance she's had tonight.
Want to call them the Lady Minutes? Sorry.
It's that kind of night.
Gentlemen, anytime you want to jump in.
We're looking at our cameraman and sound man. See if they could offer any insights here. Really not much to really say. It's all been said by the action on the field.
Hey, you see a player slipping there, so the field is starting to get its characteristic wet dampness.
Jim, we talked last night about the rec program in East Brunswick, and it's feeding the boys program. Same thing with the girls.
Absolutely. There are just tremendous numbers that are interested. And the way the recreation programs work is they will be boys and girls playing together for up to grade, maybe say first or second grade, and then they'll start to branch off into traveling squads, and this really serious players will stick with it, and then the fruit is right here on as you see on the high school field. It is a tremendous privilege, and this is what they all look forward to, being able to play for the Lady Bears team, because it is recognized as one of the best in the state.
Oh, no doubt about that. In the last several years, one of the best in the nation.
Bridgewater East trying to mount some sort of effort here. And they're going to have another throw in, it looks like. They may have had one shot on goal, and it may have been a loft from about the 40-yard line that the goaltender had to stop. But it certainly wasn't a threatening type of shot.
No.
More substitutes, I think. And they're going to be entering the game fairly shortly.
And there'll be 6 of them. These 6 are warming up anyway. Here's Rabi. She's got a clear field. It's a foot race now.
Well, this is going to be interesting. Now, the goaltender should come out on this, really.
Nice play. She stops, gets
Feeds
herself under control.
to Levine.
Whoa.
And Tammy was just a little unsure as to whether or not she should go after that. But goaltender very fortunate because she really needed to come out and cut the angle on that goal.
Shot there, wide. That was Teresa Karzima. We've got 10 minutes left here in the second period. 5-0 East Brunswick on top. Somewhat anticlimactic now. There's an opportunity. Shot. Goal. I believe that was number 58, Karen Bissop.
It's number 2 for her.
No, that's number 1. Tammy had Tammy Levine.
All right, that's right. Karen just missed a goal.
What had happened?
Well, they're just going to have. Oh, I'm sorry.
Maybe it was wide. It
No,
looked like a goal.
Yeah, it really did. Apparently not. Apparently it was called either. Well, they're setting up. It must have gone over the end line.
So Karen Bissop has one taken away.
I get the suspicion, though, that that's just going to be prolonging the agony.
East Brunswick has not allowed Bridgewater East to even catch its breath. Shot wide.
And
that's the closest they've come in about
this
18
quarter,
minutes.
This quarter, at least. John, I understand next week you're going to be covering gymnastics meet?
This Thursday.
Okay. A triangular girls meet between Piscataway, Sayreville, and East Brunswick.
Right.
Okay.
We'll get to see the Lady Bears in gymnastics. Here's a shot, Bridgewater East, crossing.
A little bit of danger here.
And it goes wide. East Brunswick's defense quick to get back and clog that middle.
Well, fortunately, I have to do some new addition here on the statistics that were supplied to us. Let's see, Lisa Rabi, as we mentioned, has 4 goals, so that brings her up to 9 for the season, 18 total points. And I'm not sure if she got an assist on any of those other goals. It's conceivable that she did. All right, Teresa Rossi. She has not scored, okay, but I'm sure she had a couple assists in some of that scoring. She has 8 goals. Karen Bissop has 8. Tammy Levine has 4. 3 assists for 7 points. Jessica Huber, we haven't mentioned her name. She has 2 goals, 3 assists for 5 points. Colleen Swick, 2 goals, 2 assists, 4 points. Janine O'Brien, 1 goal and 3 assists for 4 points. Nicole Levine, 3 goals, 1 assist for 4 points. Tina Karzima, 1 goal and 2 assists for 3 points. Terry Slater.
East Brunswick on the move. Shot,
no,
across.
She centers. It was a center.
And the shot is, there's a goal there.
It was a goal, went through the net.
Teresa Karzima on the center.
And Jessica Huber, who we just mentioned, was the one that made that great crossing pass. Instead of shooting it, she gave up the shot.
Huber had the goal, Jim.
Okay.
It was
okay. Was it so?
Karzima with the pass.
Okay, fine. And that's the second time that Karzima has made a superb pass to set up a goal. And just so those are 2 assists that I know of that Karzima has tonight. So she has 1 goal this year, 4 assists for 5 points. Dana Pepe has 1 goal. By the way, the score is 6-0. In case we're counting, Marin Levine 1 goal and Kelly Pachar for 1 goal and all with 1 point. So that brings us up to date currently, and I say currently, for the East Brunswick scoring.
We stand corrected. It was Terry Slater, number 51, who scored on the assist from Teresa Karzima. And we want to be sure that Terry gets her due.
So Slater gets the goal?
Slater gets the goal. The assist is Karzima.
That's her 3rd on the season.
Just inside of 6 minutes left, 2nd period.
And here comes a foot race again.
Here
Look at
comes
this team
Karzima.
speed. Look at the speed.
She's got it all by herself.
She also had 2 players on the right side if she had just looked up.
East Brunswick just all over Bridgewater East, whether it be on offense or defense.
And let's see what they're going to call here. I think a foul. Oh, it's a throw-in. I'm sorry. It is a foul. So
some hope here for
this is a direct kick.
The Minute Ladies of Bridgewater East.
Nice hit, shot.
Right at Sue Kerwin.
Wow. East Brunswick right back, John.
Bring it down. It's Karzima again.
And they're cutting in the middle. If she sees her.
Just put a little bit ahead of herself. Should stay with East Brunswick, and it does.
Bishop was right in the middle, waiting for that pass.
Shot.
Marin Levine, nice foot. Goaltender will take this.
3 minutes and 15 seconds remaining here in the 2nd period. East Brunswick on top 6-0. East Brunswick played yesterday and beat JP Stevens.
It was 11-0.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh.
Offsides there.
Not sure about that. They called it, but I don't think it was an offside.
And Bridgewater East has slowed down considerably.
Well, they have to. I think that's what they need to do, is just keep the pace slow in order to disrupt East Brunswick's tempo. Oh, here's a chance.
Breakaway. Kerwin comes out, makes the save.
And that could be nothing more than a little mental lapse by the Lady Bears. Now here's a chance right here.
Pepe.
Watch the team speed.
She'll take it. She's got the shot. She'll take it right at the goaltender, though. Minute 53 left.
Looks like we have a couple of substitutions. I think that's Nicole Levine
and number 64. I'm sorry.
It was Karzima that came in, yes. Look at that boot by Karzima.
And we're down to 1 minute before halftime. We're playing 20-minute running periods. So, Jim, I guess there isn't a slaughter rule if East Brunswick
well, we haven't reached that point anyway. 6-0 is a modestly high score at this point, but remember, we're only getting close to halftime here.
We're painfully aware of that. 30 seconds.
And if Lady Bears have a little bit of time here.
I think they're content at this point with 20 seconds left.
I think that's going to do it.
And that should about do it here for first half action anyway. And action it was, as East Brunswick goes in at half with a 6-0 lead.
And just a continuation of the blitzkrieg. That's exactly what it is. They have really just steamrolled in a fine offensive show with Lisa Raby with 4 goals.
Yes.
Just the sophomore.
Well, as we said, halftime here, and we'll be back with the start of second half action in just a moment. Well, Jim, we're getting ready here to start the second half, and 2 bits of information for you, one more important than the other. The single game scoring record is held by Sue Fiacco.
Remember her well.
With 5.
She's a pharmacist in my neighborhood right now.
Isn't that something? So Lisa Raby is 1 away from tying that record. And maybe more important for us, and that is there is no slaughter rule in high school soccer.
We're going to play to the bitter end here
So
tonight.
we play it to the end.
Okay. Well, we hope the fans out there stick with us.
Well, I think even some of the fans, I was down at halftime, were saying, you know, that there really should be.
Yeah, some sort of consideration for games like this where it's obvious that Bridgewater East will do well just to keep the score down. And Raby is out there, so she's going to get an opportunity. We don't know how long.
If
this
you're
is about the starting lineup is out there.
If you're just joining us, we're bringing you the East Brunswick Bridgewater East girls soccer game. It's 6-0 already as we start third period action. And Lisa Raby has 4 goals in that first half, and Tammy Levine and Terry Slater the other 2. East Brunswick comes into this with a 7-1 record. And that certainly won't be threatened. And a ranking of 4th in the state by the Star Ledger. Obviously #1 girls team in the county, in the GMC.
And it's unusual to be ranked any lower than 2 for East Brunswick. So that loss is what did it against Westfield. But I honestly think that those are still the 2 best teams in the state, bar none.
And here's a corner kick. I believe it's the first one tonight, Jim.
Yes, it is.
And Bridgewater East will have it.
As we haven't been calling Bridgewater East players' numbers, and it's not because we don't know them, it's that they really haven't had opportunities to touch the ball. It's been a total game control by East Brunswick, and here they come.
Looking to retrieve a ball. It looked like a handball there.
Teresa was offside on that, but the official couldn't catch it. All right, watch this. That was a great steal. Somebody's gonna shot here.
And right to Rossi in the center.
And Rabi just sort of nicked it right over to her counterpart. And bingo.
So 17-24.
It's Teresa Rossi. Give Lisa Rabi assist on that.
That's Rossi's first goal of the night. Makes it 7-0 East Brunswick.
And I believe, who was it on the right wing here that was responsible for, I think, number 63, perhaps? Or was it Erica Schultz?
I believe it was Erica Schultz, number 56.
She was the one that stole that ball from the defender and was able to just center it right in. Look at the crisp passing here.
It's really a thing of beauty to watch.
Well, East Brunswick will develop another opportunity out of this throw-in, you can bet.
Jimmy, I think that last goal for East Brunswick, not only did it make it 7-0, but showed something else on the part of this team, and that's how unselfish they are. I mean, Rabi could have made an attempt.
Sure.
But there was Rossi right in the middle by herself, and she gave up, you know, an opportunity for a goal.
And that's important to recognize something like this. They really do have a genuine respect for each other, and you see that translated on the field. '61, is that Zukis?
Zukis.
Janine O'Brien, 61.
61 is Janine O'Brien, right?
And number 67 is Amy Zukis, it's pronounced.
And again, Bridgewater, he's just kicking and hoping. And that play could get a little dangerous as the night wears on. That ball is very wet from the dew that settled on the field.
Sort of a soccer version of the run and shoot here. They just launch the ball and let the team speed take over. It's dangerously in the middle here. They're cutting in. Let's see who gets it.
Shot,
wow.
Almost kneed in by Bridgewater East.
And
should be a corner, I believe. No, they'll give it a throw.
It's a throw-in.
Well, in 2 nights, the Lady Bears have put on 18, or have put in 18 goals.
And they're not finished yet. Well, there's a slip right there. Goal kick.
You see the goalie for Bridgewater East. That's Katie Smith, and she has had a long night.
It's an interesting schedule that Bridgewater has played thus far. They have a 2-2-1 record, and they have defeated Montgomery 2-0, and have played Warren Hills. They beat them 6-0, fairly convincingly, and they come back and play Warren Hills again and lose 1-0. So that's very strange. And
shot wide.
And they also played Hackettstown twice, losing 3-0 and then tying them. And I was wondering, asking Bob Morris, is at a small conference, he says, no, we have a rule where we have to play all the teams in our division twice before we can play outside competition. And I don't know, I'm not quite sure why. But regardless, this is really their first out-of-conference game. And I think at this point they wish they would have stayed in conference. There's a chance. Should be a goal kick.
You know, Jim, watching, you kind of get a sense it's a little cat and mouse as mass substitutions come in for East Brunswick.
7, as a matter of fact. And let's see, does Rabi come out? Yes, I'm just keeping an eye on her just to see if she's going to get that opportunity. And I think about the greatest challenge that Luke Cosa has had tonight is keeping track of who's going in and who's going out.
Jim, you got to wonder, 2 games like East Brunswick has had, one against Stevens yesterday 11-0, and tonight so far it's 7-0. If you worry about a little flatness at some point.
For both the boys and girls teams respectively, I don't think that's going to be a likelihood. The girls, just by the nature of the coach that they have, and he keeps them on their toes, and you know how he does it? It's during practice. It's one of the strategies that Luke Cosa employs is to have his teams vie for time and playing time by how they perform in practice, so they don't become complacent. And it's the types of starting games in the big ones, such as Franklin, when they play them. Who's going to start those games? Who's going to play those games? Well, it all depends on how they perform in practice. So they have to be constantly on their toes. Same thing with the boys. I don't think they're in the same position as the girls. They're not quite as dominant. Even though they had an excellent game last night, they're not quite able to do that because they play a lot of quality teams. And they're going to have to do everything they can to be able to challenge for the county leadership. They did beat St. Joseph's 2-0, but they're going to have some big games coming up. They'll have to play the Falcons again, and of course that Monroe game we're talking about.
Curious instance, and only because the score is 7-0, there's not a hell of a lot else to focus in on. But I look at the East Brunswick roster and the numbers on the jerseys, and there's nothing lower than, well, I see a 10 here, but mostly 50s and 60s. And right. I'm wondering, Frank Knoppenberger got a deal on jerseys and had to take them as they were.
Let's see if
Bridgewater East trying to squeeze something close to the goal.
And that's out on them, so goal kick for the Lady Bears. And we're going to have a new goaltender for East Brunswick.
I believe that's Laura Buttonbaum coming in for Sue Kerwin.
And, Sue gets a well-deserved rest. Didn't have too much action tonight.
Laura's a 10th grader, by the way.
Here's a break, maybe.
Pepe going after it hard, but unable to control it. We have 8:55 left in the third period. East Brunswick on top 7-0. And we can't remember when the last shot on goal was for Bridgewater East, quite honestly.
It was probably in the first half. I don't think they have a shot on goal.
Nothing in this third period, for sure.
And a nice settle. That ball went awry. And they're taking their time.
Not much more you need to do, quite honestly.
Whoa.
Ooh.
Not sure what that was all about.
No.
That's a corner kick. I believe that...
Tammy Levine.
yeah, she...
A little confused maybe with Laura or in terms of communicating.
Number 65, Carla Schwartz, was the one that booted that out.
And East Brunswick able to get it out of their own goal.
Something that Kosa is doing before he sends his troops in is having them run up and down the field. Wow, here we go. Watch this. Boy, this is a breakaway. And they're running the length of the field.
That's Teresa Krazima.
And nice sliding tackle.
Out. No whistle.
It was a good play, really. But Bridgewater naturally was caught up, and I'll tell you what, it was a breakaway the entire length of the field, and the player was just able to get it out. Offside called. That was fun to watch. It was like a wind sprint.
With 6:20 left in the period.
Brunswick should have the throw in here.
And substitutions again for East Brunswick. Allison Schraub, number 40. Chris McLaughlin, number 10. I believe Debbie Tatara, number 30.
Second line gets a nice hand. Punched right to the middle, John.
A little off shot. East Brunswick ready to pour some more on.
They're going to push it in here.
A lot of sophomores in the lineup for East Brunswick at this point.
There should be. I'm thinking about Lisa Rabi. She really hasn't had all that much playing time in this game. Kosa having to substitute liberally early on because of the score, and if one wonders what Lisa Rabi would have in goal total if she had been allowed to play the whole game.
Well, there's been no let up in the fight anyway from Bridgewater East. Girls are still hustling and trying to make something happen.
Almost a chance here, still may be. Good aggressive move there.
Yeah. Nice feed. No one is there.
A little long, perhaps.
The goalie comes
It's
out.
It's live. It's still live. And goaltender really took it hard that time. It's still live here. Let's see. There's a chance here.
Opportunity. Shot.
Whoa.
Up and over.
Okay. That was by Salt Slater, excuse me. And she already has a goal, if I'm not mistaken.
Terry Slater.
Yes.
Terry hung in there nice after that collision with the goalie and got back up on her feet and had a shot.
You know, one of the positive things of this high-scoring game, East Brunswick involves itself an awful lot in these types of games, is that these second-line players that we see right now have as much experience as the varsity starters do, so that when they come up after the other ones graduate, they're already seasoned.
Yeah. And we saw that last year, Jim, and quite honestly, in that Westfield game, everyone was a little concerned when these sophomores started to run in. .145 left here in the third period. 7-0 East Brunswick.
Ooh, dangerous.
Dangerous there.
Yes. And Bridgewater will get the ball.
Inside a minute. And Bridgewater just having a difficult time clearing their own end.
Well, to their credit, they've been able to hold down the Lady Bears to 1 goal.
This period, yes.
This period.
10 seconds left. And that'll do it. So at the end of 3, it's East Brunswick 7, Bridgewater East nothing.
The whitewash continues. And I suspect Kosa, let's see what he's going to do. I think he's waving some of his starting players back into the game, maybe. No, he was just telling them to get off the turf. Will it become a part of this team? Okay. I honestly wonder what you say to your team. He's obviously imploring them with instructions right now. But you don't know. I guess you want to stay away from injuries if you possibly can. The game is a foregone conclusion, and with the dew on the field makes for some slippery conditions, and we've seen some players injured in these types of situations.
Yeah. And the other thing too, Jim, is that he has some sophomores on the field, and he may want to you know, give them the opportunity and in so doing, give them some of the instruction that they will need in terms of their own development. And you see Lou talking away. I talked with him at halftime, and obviously in good spirits, somewhat amazed himself at the quick start by East Brunswick in this game tonight. And really, what do you say across the field on the Bridgewater East side? I think that's the huddle you'd like to have a microphone in.
Well, they come down from Somerset County. It's a long ride. It's about an hour, 45-minute ride, perhaps. We see a few fans on their side there and made the trip, some parents. And this is, for the most part, it's been a relatively sedate crowd.
Yeah. Well, it was pretty much over within a minute and a half of the opening of the game.
Literally, literally. We had that first score at 19-14.
Yeah.
Well, 46 seconds gone, and then bang, another one. About a minute, less than a minute, 2 minutes later.
You see on your screen across the sparse crowd that followed Bridgewater East here tonight. And they've got to be loyal fans with the score 7-0 into the fourth period.
Looks like we're ready to go, John. At least East Brunswick's coming out. It looks like more strategy is being discussed by Bridgewater East.
They're looking for Maradona. Is that the player from Argentina, I believe? Or?
Diego.
Diego.
Who plays in the Italian leagues.
Yeah. Well, the last 20 minutes.
And I'm looking at the players on the field, and again, most of the starters are out of there, if not all.
And here we go. Final period.
It's East Brunswick on the attack. They're threading the middle here. Some new faces.
Yeah, Teresa Rossi's still in there in the center. That's she there.
Tammy's Levine right there is with the ball. She was a starter. And looks like Rossi.
And Teresa pulls up. East Brunswick's first corner kick, I believe, Jim.
Okay.
There haven't been many in the game.
Great boot. Great boot.
And a head by Rossi.
Wow.
18:49 of the fourth period.
You can't execute any better than that. That was right there.
And so Teresa Rossi comes up with her second goal of the evening. And so we have Lisa Rabi with 4, Teresa Rossi with 2, Tammy Levine and Terry Slater with the other to make it 8-0.
And Teresa Rossi now in double figures for goal scoring in the year with 10.
And I'm waiting for Coach Morris to kind of wave the white flag. Kind of get the team on the bus and let's go home. But yesterday we talked about it. East Brunswick beat J.P. Stevens 11-0.
This will be a throw-in, I guess, by Bridgewater East.
And interesting, Jim, the throw-ins have not been any real attempt to put it downfield.
Yeah. Well, the goaltender kicks it right into the middle of the They'll do well to kick that to the goalie. A little hard. So is it Jenny Scott, the goaltender for Bridgewater East?
Katie Smith.
Katie Smith, I'm sorry.
As far as we know, and
the
that
8
hasn't
goals.
been changed, rather.
Right. So in all the games that she's played, she's given up 4 goals. So this doubles the number of goals that Smith has relinquished.
I think it's fair to say she's not seen a team like East Brunswick either. And to her defense, she has not had much support back there defensively.
No, really, it's the defense has been really caught off guard tonight.
Another corner kick for East Brunswick. A foot just goes wide.
And just wide, too. That almost found the upper corner.
That was Erica Schultz, number 56, just missing.
That shot just goes wide.
Clock showing 15:35 left in the game. 8-0 the Lady Bears.
And Rossi's hanging around by the goal, I see. She's looking for a hat trick. And she might get a chance here.
Puts it down rather easily on the ground.
East Brunswick defense has not had to work hard tonight at all. They ball really hasn't been on their side of the field.
Really had to do very little. No real serious threat.
Well, let's watch this foot race. I think that's going to go to the goalie. And Rossi's not giving up. She's going after it. Teresa was among the leading scorers for East Brunswick last year, if I remember correctly. And we know her as a fine all-around athlete and an important member of the basketball team, which, as we know, has a new coach, the girls' basketball team, one Reggie Carney, who was approved by the Board of Education, physical education teacher. Reggie Carney, coming from a fine background as a high school coach at Hoffman High School in South Amboy, moved on for a year as an assistant coach at Boston University, but found that coaching, hands-on coaching, was what he wanted to do. So he brings a fine reputation to a quality program. And hopefully the two is going to mesh together for some fine results for East Brunswick's girls basketball team this season. And we're going to watch that. Here's Rossi.
She's got it on the left side.
And she's kind of wide.
She slips.
Russie's got to watch herself. She doesn't get offside here. And East Brunswick ready to substitute again.
Jim, a few years ago, it used to be 15-minute running quarters, now 20.
Yeah.
I'm curious as to rationale.
Well, I guess they kind of felt that lengthening the game would provide a little bit more of a scoring opportunity. There was a lot of shutouts going on, and
certainly wouldn't have been a factor in this game.
not at all.
For all practical purposes, this game was over 47 seconds into the game as Lisa Robbie scored the first of her 4 goals tonight. And it was just, as Jimmy said, a blitzkrieg. East Brunswick 4 goals in the first period, 2 in the second, 1 in the third, and 1 thus far here in the 4th and final period. And we still have 11.5 minutes left.
Let's see, this is a live ball here.
And substitutions.
Here we go.
I wouldn't be surprised to see Lou Cosa run on the field.
And I see 10 replacements, so everyone goes off. And believe it or not, Lisa Raby takes the field. So she's going to get another opportunity here to notch what would be a tying goal for
a tie.
Single game record.
And she has 10 minutes and 50 seconds in which to do that. That's assuming she stays in the remainder of the game.
And suddenly
it's
an offensive thrust here.
And here's Lisa with the ball.
Look at that move.
Centers it. Good defense by Bridgewater.
Another fine night, though. Great for soccer. No wind whatsoever.
Pressure has just been constant.
Here's a chance. Look at that save.
And
offside.
They'll call the offside against East Brunswick.
Well, it was a fine effort there. I think that was 53 that died for that ball.
That's Dana Pepe.
Whoops, here's Lisa.
Lisa couldn't control it enough, a little kind of over anxious.
You notice where she took that ball? It was really heads up on Lisa's part. She knew when to break for the goal so she wouldn't be offside.
Whistle will stop play momentarily and
Free
turn
kick.
it around for East Brunswick.
And watch, this will be a set play, John. Raby's going to break for the goal.
Karzima takes the shot directly.
And nobody breaks for the goal.
No one moves.
I don't quite know what that's all about.
I was sorry, that was, excuse me, Jessica Huber. .840 remaining.
And coming in here.
Good save by Smith.
And Katie Smith looked like she took a right. She looked like she took a right cross. It looks like a punch coming in. Did you see that, John? It seemed like I don't know who it was, but she came in with her arm flinging and almost really just punched Smith.
Smith is down, and you see Phil Hostler, East Brunswick trainer.
There was quite a collision. suspect that Smith had nothing more than was stunned by the punch. No, let's see if a card has been issued to one of the East Brunswick players.
That certainly wasn't intentional, but
No, it wasn't.
it does stop the clock with 8:19 showing. And Smith is...
Well, she's being attended to by Phil Hostler.
And we've mentioned Katie Smith's name several times, obviously 8 times to be exact, and much more than that.
And she gets up.
She's up.
After that.
In what has been a very long evening.
And let's see, I don't think she's going to continue, John. She's
I don't see anyone else on the roster who at least listed as goalie for Bridgewater East. It's not to say they don't have someone. Oh, and someone's coming out now, I believe. So a new goaltender will go in.
And Smith finishes off a long evening for her.
And we'll start it up here. And a whistle.
Do we have any idea who that might be?
I'll take a look, but
okay.
I'm not sure who's in goal. We have a kind of a hand scribbled lineup here. Shot, and whoever it is makes a nice save.
And the ball still was alive.
A young lady having a hard time, and she may not be a regular goalie either.
She gets her baptism right there under fire. And if you think that East Brunswick's going to show any mercy, forget it. This is a chance right here, maybe.
Shot wide.
And that was Debbie Tatara, and we all know that name from the last game we saw on Channel 8, and that was Vic Tatara, the fine #1 player for East Brunswick this year. And Rabi exits the game, and that's about all the action we're going to see from her tonight, I'm sure. So a fine evening for Lisa Rabi. She adds to her county scoring lead as well as the team leadership for East Brunswick with 4 goals for a total of 9 this year. Teresa Rossi, though, continues to be the team leader in goals scored with 10.
6 minutes remaining in the game. And Jimmy, we mentioned it before. If Bridgewater East had 4 shots on goal tonight,
that's a lot.
That is a lot.
Really. They have not been able to get anything going whatsoever.
And no matter who's in for East Brunswick, it's all the same. Good passing, speed. As an opposing coach, you just have to wonder.
Yeah. chance is kept alive.
Less than 5 minutes now left in the game.
Just relentless pressure here.
Jimmy, I'd have to say that goalie in for Bridgewater East is either not a goalie by position or is very new at it.
You can just watch.
Yeah, you could just see.
A little unsure.
And I'm sure she's hoping these next 4 minutes go by real quick.
Right. A few more substitutions for the Lady Bears. And look out.
Yep.
It's a little long. Well, the clock continues to run during these substitutions. Oh, fine kick.
Well, if there was any question where East Brunswick is in terms of their game,
you see it here.
You see it here. And Jim, I've got to think we're going to be down at the state finals again this year.
Trenton State College, a fine facility down there where hopefully we'll have another opportunity to watch this team go for a state title. Well, look at this.
And a good play by Buttonbaum. And the only real serious attempt at a goal for Bridgewater East this half.
Really, and I'm trying to see who, if that's number 10, if that's here's another chance.
Shot blocked by Buttonbaum.
And a rebound just missed. And that was a serious attempt there, and she had to come up with a great save.
Certainly the shutout is what they're looking for.
And as often happens, you get something on the other side. Goaltender's coming out, looks like.
There's no one there, and that'll be an easy goal.
She shouldn't have gone out.
And doing that little dance, we'll get a number.
Well, I talked about the last time, yeah, if you can get that player.
Who's very winded, too.
She had
number
to go
63, and that's Colleen Swick. You see, Colleen's quite happy.
Oh, yeah, she's pleased to score that goal. She leaves the game, and she falls to the sidelines in mock fatigue.
Well, she ran about 80 yards.
That's what happens sometimes when you get a good scoring opportunity. The other team moves up and gets caught on a breakaway. Now, in that situation, the goaltender really shouldn't have committed. Before, there was an obvious
need to, yeah.
Yeah, but not that one.
9-0 is our score. And it'll take me the last 2 minutes of this game to read off the scoring for you.
Hey, well, you better start right now because we got a 2-minute warning.
And let me just do that.
9-0.
Scoring, first period, Lisa Robbie, Tammy Levine, Lisa Robbie, and Lisa Robbie. It was the Lisa Robbie show, as we said. In the second period, Lisa Robbie again and Terry Slater to make it 6-0. In the third period, Teresa Rossi got her first goal to make it 7.
Only goal of the period.
Only goal of that period, yeah, surprisingly. And then in the fourth, Teresa Rossi and Colleen Swick to make it 9-0. So Rossi has 2, Rabi has 4, Slater and Levine and Swick. And that took about 45 seconds. Jimmy, you can't help but be impressed, and you know, we've talked about, you know, the expectations obviously that we have, and I'm sure a lot of people in the stands tonight for this team.
Well, as much as this team is doing well, whoa!
Oh no! And Buttonbaum saves the shutout with 55 seconds. A little push there.
Yeah, East Brunswick should get a free kick. And can waste its time here for once. But the observation that I want to make is that as good as this team is, it just continues to get better, and they will not drop off in talent even as the season concludes. And we're only halfway through it right now. But you know, it's just a natural tendency to set your sights on what's ahead in the in the distant future. And for all we know, there are some even better quality players coming up through the ranks.
So East Brunswick will improve to 8-1. Bridgewater East will fall to 3-3 rather, with 8 seconds. And that should just about do it. And this game is over. And Lucosa and the Lady Bears shut out Bridgewater East. 9-0 is the final.
Really was a fine effort. And if you were looking for an opportunity to see just exactly what this program is made of, you saw it tonight in a very conclusive fashion. They did what they've been doing to all the other teams, mostly on their schedule, except for that Westfield game. And again, we're hoping to see that team further down the road. But in the meantime, there's a lot of anticipation about the upcoming Franklin, Tennessee game against the nationally ranked. I don't even know their nicknames, John, but it should be fun to watch.
And we'll have that game here on Channel 8. So again, the final from J. Doyle Field: Lady Bears 9, Bridgewater East 0. And so for Jim Allinder, I'm John Meggiolaro saying thanks for being with us.